I want to talk about Drew McIntyre because this man is an absolute menace. This man has the most logical character development that we have seen in years. Is he a heel? Is he a babyface? What actually is Drew McIntyre? And I find this to be a really fun conversation to be had because when you really look at the optics of Drew McIntyre and what he is saying and what he is doing, he's actually a babyface. But his demeanor and the tonality and the presentation of Drew McIntyre, and of course the Twitter activity of Drew McIntyre is very much heelish. And it's weird because in a way, I want to sympathize for Drew McIntyre. I have empathy for Drew McIntyre because what he is saying has really been true. It feels real and it feels authentic and it feels raw, no pun intended. But the beauty of it is that this plays into a time period where there is a lot of conversation on social media about whether Drew McIntyre will in fact re-sign with the WWE or leave the WWE. And I think I love this storyline so much more because it very well could be a work. It could very well play into the situation that Drew McIntyre has already re-signed with WWE, but they see the chit chat in the IWC and they're really trying to make you think he's actually pissed off and disgruntled. That's a possibility. And then obviously it could be for something so much more effective later on down the line when he wins the belt. But the reality is Drew McIntyre has been spitting facts. It's a little bit of a different heel character. This isn't the ultimate bad guy where it's like, I just want to boo this guy. I mean, yeah, he did hit a low blow on Sami Zayn on Raw, but at the end of the day, he had to do what he had to do because somebody else is always trying to take his shine away. And it's like, I think it's actually really funny because this guy has been absolutely killing it on TV. It's a slow burn storyline. It's been a very long process. And I always go back to watching Triple H confront the question at the media scrum last year where he was like, yeah, we don't have any issues or whatever. But then all of a sudden there's issues with Drew McIntyre on TV, right? Like it all plays into something really big. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking about WrestleMania 40. Drew McIntyre's activity on Twitter has been really amazing. When he said to CM Punk he prayed for the injury to happen, like that was some crazy ass shit. He truly was a head. And you know, the funny thing about that is like it works. It genuinely works what he says and what he does and how he's doing it. I don't think there's been a better character evolution in wrestling in a long time. There's nothing that beats the Drew McIntyre character arc. But then we go into WrestleMania 40. CM Punk is injured. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40. What exactly is the plan if CM Punk is injured? WWE is trying to get you to think that maybe Cody will choose Seth Rollins. I don't believe that for a second. I believe Cody goes to WrestleMania 40 and finishes the story. If it doesn't happen, obviously I'll be very upset because what's been portrayed on TV for over a year is Cody trying to finish his story. You cannot keep the story going much longer than 2 years. I think at that point, the iron is really hot right now. You just got to do it. Cody is the ultimate babyface. He is the superhero. He doesn't have to have a catchphrase that gets over. He doesn't have to do anything crazy. He doesn't have to act like he's not like one of those heels that are baby faces getting babyface reactions. I mean, he's a pure babyface. Cody Rhodes needs to go finish the story, but Drew McIntyre, on the other hand, he needs to finish his story. And what I love so much about this Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre situation, for as unfortunate as it is with CM Punk being injured, there's a lot of ways around this. You can have Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins compete for the World Heavyweight Championship. This way, Seth Rollins doesn't have to be pinned. Drew McIntyre should be the World Heavyweight Champion. I've outlined this in my live streams prior on my main channel, but long story short, to paraphrase what I've said, Drew McIntyre needs to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest needs to try to cash in on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania and fail. Damian Priest could become a world champion later, but they need to break up the Judgment Day at some point because that's also another slow burn storyline. Damian Priest failing his cash in gives Rhea Ripley in the group a lot of reason to kick him out. Especially by that point in time, if he loses the tag team titles with Finn Balor, which is expected, then he loses Money in the Bank. What value does Damian Priest have to Rhea Ripley? Nothing. And I think it's very clear that WWE giving the World Heavyweight Championship to Drew McIntyre also sets up another future reign, which is Gunther. Drew McIntyre winning, Damian Priest failing cash in. There's a lot of stories that could be told there. Bash at Berlin, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre would be the perfect way for Drew McIntyre to drop the World Heavyweight Championship. In a way, it's passing of the torch. Gunther becoming World Heavyweight Champion at Bash at Berlin would be a very exciting moment. And at the same time, you were able to accomplish multiple other stories. I love this storyline so much because every single week I'm hit with something new and something different and something fresh. The reality is, if Drew McIntyre were to win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, whether it's by cheating or clean victory, it doesn't really matter. He finally won the World Heavyweight Championship in front of the crowd. That's what this all kind of stems from. He's been carrying the company on his back, working hurt, missing family functions, and he doesn't get repaid with respect or anything because of what he did during the pandemic era of WWE. I think this is a very intriguing storyline. Drew McIntyre should become the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm going to stand on that for a very long time. But if Drew McIntyre leaves WWE, let's just say I'm wrong and he hasn't re-signed with the company or he doesn't plan to re-sign with the company. Let's just say that's the case. I think WWE would be absolutely foolish and absolutely dumb because this guy is really, really good. He is crazy good. You don't let that opportunity slip by, man. You just don't let that opportunity slip by. You don't let Drew McIntyre go to AEW as Drew Galloway. You don't let him go to TNA as Drew Galloway. You let him become one of the top guys. He is one of the top guys. But you let it be known that he's one of the top guys by re-signing him and putting him in those main events. Drew McIntyre would be a fantastic World Heavyweight Champion. And at the end of the day, that's what I want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.